TMCnet at NextCom 2008.
Good morning. Welcome again. We're here live at NextCom 2008 in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'm joined now by Chalan Aras, Vice President of Marketing for Voice Communication Solutions at Polycom. Welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
So let's get right into it. You've actually announced what I think is a very exciting new product here at the show, right?
Absolutely. So we announced two products. One is a new product. The other one is an add-on to a product. And the first one is the IP670. As you know, we have a broad lineup of voice over IP desktop phones. And within that lineup, we feature several key things, such as HD voice, which is a very high quality voice experience. And we also feature multi-line phones for high-end executives. So this phone that we brought up, that we announced, the IP670, features one new attribute, which is a color display. And color displays on phones are relatively new, and we wanted to make sure that we have an offering with a color display on a phone. But we also, if you look at where color displays are used, they're used to communicate status, to communicate information. And what we did is we added color displays not only on our phones, but also on our side attendant modules. That means that if you have an executive assistant or receptionist who is fielding calls coming from multiple callers, they really want to know whether if they transfer the call, whether the person who's going to take the call is available. They want to see whether they're present or busy, or they have a do not disturb indication, so on and so forth. So it's much easier to show that with color, with like a green, yellow, yet sort of indicator. So we're taking color to the next level and making color available on a full solution on a desktop phone as well as on attendant modules. So we're the world's first full set of executive assistant or receptionist color solution. So that's the IP670 and the color expansion module.
And now, did you develop this phone based on customer requests, or are you trying to stay ahead of the curve?
Well, it's a combination of the two. So the customers posed a problem. They said, look, we love your attendance solutions, but we're also realizing that we have this challenge of not knowing whether the call transfer is going to go through. So a lot of things go into voicemail. Can you help us with that? So we said, well, maybe we can combine that need with color and apply it and make it a much more visually interesting and easy to use solution. So ultimately, we look at this as how do we improve the speed of business? How do we make things more productive? And adding color to a phone was a good way of increasing productivity.
And any feedback on that so far?
Well, feedback's been great. The users have really found that color has really improved their way of using their phone. Color also brings other capabilities. For example, you can put interesting backgrounds on the phone, so you can personalize your phone. So it really makes the phone part of your life much more than the dull device sitting on the side. So color, it's amazing how it creates attachment from people. So you can put, we'll be adding more capabilities in the future, but you can put background logos, pictures. So it really spices it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's definitely exciting. Yeah. But you've also announced something regarding, I think, your Sound Stretcher
That's
product,
right? We did. So we announced a product called Sound Structure back in the fall. Sound Structure is our line of what we call installed audio solutions. So if you look at Polycom, we have video and audio solutions. What we find is that audio is what we sense the most, and then video, of course, completes the picture. No pun intended there. But so with installed audio, these products are used in very large auditoriums, in large boardrooms, so on and so forth. And what we learned was that our products are used not only in video conferencing rooms, but also in just broadcast rooms. Like, let's say if you want to give a speech into a broad audience, or if it's in a house of worship where you're talking to the flock. So our products were being used there. So what we decided is we refeatured the product. We added some features that were more relevant for more of a broadcast or speaking environment, and we took certain things out that were not as needed. And we called it a sound reinforcement product, so SR. So it's part of our Sound Structure family. and it's called the SR12, and it's optimized for auditoriums, for house of worship, for nightclubs, and things of that nature, where again, high audio quality is very important, yet conferencing may not be as much of a requirement.
So there's definitely a market for the high quality audio in that sort of an auditorium type of scenario.
Absolutely. It seems to be that as we elevate as the overall consumer environment goes to HD and surround sound, the audience are expecting that experience everywhere they go. So if you're in an auditorium, you want that high quality experience in that auditorium as well. So we're feeding into that unmet need right now.
Certainly, most people probably are very familiar with HD video, HD TV. Do people understand the term? Know what HD voice means?
I think they're learning. To your point, we're sort of joining that bandwagon of HD. So you hear about HD video, you hear about HD radio, right? If you're on radio ads, you hear about HD radio. So HD voice is in the same family of experience of just having a much more human communications experience when you're on a telephone, and it is striking. Once you listen to it, you'll see that it's much more natural. The highs are much more brilliant. The lows are much more there, so you can have that James Earl Jones experience if you want of the lows, and it's actually much more different with female voices because female voices tend to have a higher tone, and it's actually much more natural with female voices. So, and as you know, we have HD voice website as part of TMC, so we'd love if you can go there and listen to that and learn more about HD voice as well.
Fantastic. And I certainly look forward to experiencing the HD voice myself.
We've
been talking with Chalan Aras from Polycom about HD voice. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more from Polycom on the video side. Thank you, Chalan.
Thank you. Pleasure to talk to you. Thanks a lot.